From today. It's intensely annoying.
So now you are going to be intensely annoyed by Instagram.
Yeah, luckily don't do Instagram.
What's interesting about this is that, of course, the company had been bought by Facebook, first of all, a couple of years back. It introduced advertisements for its users in the United States back in 2013, obviously trying to make money, as many of these technology companies now are. They've done it across a whole load of Anglophone markets, but this is the first non-English speaking market that they're introducing advertisements to. The brands who've signed up, already pretty hefty: Lacoste, Air France, Yves Saint Laurent and Coca-Cola have signed up to place their pictures in users' timelines on Instagram. Now, we don't know how many users they have in France. Instagram doesn't break down those figures for us. They have 300 million worldwide. It's a really strategic move for advertisers, though, because first of all, they're getting to a younger market than Facebook, for example, but they're also, because users spend an average of 21 minutes a day on Instagram, so it's quite a captive audience as well.
21 minutes a day, wow.
There's a lot of great pictures on there.
I've got an appeal to advertisers: don't do it. Every time I see one of those adverts on Facebook, my skin crawls. That's what it makes me do.
That's how they make money, though, Stuart.
I know, I suppose they have to, don't they? Stephen, the business, thank you. Emma's here now. International newspapers today. Latest on the investigation into the assassination of Boris Nemtsov is featuring very widely, isn't it?
Yes, the New York Times reports that 2 Chechen men have been charged with the murder of the Russian opposition leader. One of those men, Zaur Dadayev, has reportedly confessed, and the judge told the court that other evidence confirms his involvement. But, says this article, there has been no clarification yet on what role the men played or indeed why they would have committed this crime. 3 others are accused of being accomplices, and a 6th man blew himself up when officers came to arrest him. But the question of who ordered the killing remains entirely unanswered. Also reporting on this is the Huffington Post. They focus on revelations that came via Instagram, again, and suggest a link between the assassination and the terror attacks here in Paris. Chechen leader Ramzan Kadyrov, who is an ally of Vladimir Putin, has posted on the site that's better known for holiday snaps and pouting selfies that Zaur Dadayev, the man who's apparently confessed, is a devout Muslim who was deeply angered by the work of Charlie Hebdo. And apparently he harboured deep resentment that Boris Nemtsov had expressed his support for the satirical newspaper. Dadayev is described as a true patriot of Russia in the Instagram account of the Chechen leader.
Yeah, it's all about Instagram today on the programme, isn't it? Now, this weekend also marking 1 year since the disappearance of flight MH370. Many reporting on the lack of progress really being made. It's incredible that they found nothing a year on, isn't it?
Yes, this aviation mystery is going nowhere fast. Despite the fact that this new report runs into some 584 pages, there really are no new leads, and that's what the Asia edition of the Wall Street Journal is saying. They report that although this is the most comprehensive so far, few clues have emerged from it, and it's really compounding the frustrations for those with missing relatives. Of course, 239 people were on board that flight, and nothing has been heard of them ever since. Suspicions that the pilot could have ditched the aircraft in a murderous-suicide bid, which they were, ludicrous as they sound, that idea was touted at the time. Those appear to have been all but ruled out in the analysis of what the pilot was doing prior to the crash or the disappearance of this aircraft. But perhaps the most interesting discoveries from this new report is that the battery in the flight data recorder had actually run out. It had expired back in 2012, and this had never been fixed. And of course, the searches that were going on in the ocean were searching for the beeps, the messages from that black box recorder. And if that battery was expired, then there would have been no noises. So we'll never know whether that's affected the search unless we actually do manage to track down the wreckage. And of course, we don't know if they have been searching in the correct area. And the Shanghai Daily has a photo from a gathering of mourners who attended Lama Temple in Beijing on Sunday. The headline, "Bring Our Loved Ones Home." Inside the paper, they also focus on this beacon battery that had expired, and they report that the leaders of Malaysia and China have vowed the search will continue. A 60,000 square kilometre stretch of ocean is believed to be the most likely crash site. So far, only 40% of it has been scanned for wreckage.
And finally, Emma's got an incredible tale, a rather tragic one as well, from the UK's biggest and most prestigious dog show. Almost every front page in the UK is featuring this story, isn't it?
Bizarre as it may seem, Crufts has become the scene of a murder mystery. And pretty much every front page in the United Kingdom is carrying this story, some with some rather tasteless puns, such as police are following all leads. But The Guardian reports the curious incident of the dog, the beef cubes, and allegations of foul play. Fendara Satisfaction, rather grand name, Jagger as he was known to his friends, is a 3-year-old Irish setter. He came second in his class last week, returned back to his home in Belgium, and died within 24 hours of taking part in the competition. Now, the thinking is that he was poisoned. His body was taken to have a post-mortem done immediately after his death, and cubes of beef were removed with some strange colours within them. Toxicology reports are still being awaited. There is a full investigation underway, including Belgian police. It may sound a little excessive, but this dog was worth in the region of £50,000. That's
Wow.
nearly 70,000 euros.
Beautiful looking animal.
It does explain why there's such a fuss about this. Now, the normally rather staid British broadsheet, the Daily Telegraph, is also getting in on this. Is a mystery poisoner hounding Crufts? In addition to Jagger's death, it says 2 more dogs actually became ill at the show, Shetland sheepdogs. So the fear is that somebody is going around poisoning these dogs. They're studying the CCTV, but of course, so many dogs, so many people. We will wait to see if they come up with an answer.
Emma, thank you very much. I was going to say the story's barking mad, but I'd better not. I'd better not. I'd be as bad as those newspapers, wouldn't I?